Hi, dear children. Drama is a wonderful experience. It gives the thrill of live performance. Unlike in films, in drama, the actors directly interacts with the audience in front of them. Recently, I watched a play, Ithihasam, a Malayalam play. It's presented by Sauparnika Theatre, Thiruvananthapuram. I enjoyed nearly 2 hours watching this play. It was based on the life story of William Shakespeare. You all know that William Shakespeare is one of the greatest playwrights the world has ever seen. And he is the father of English plays. His birthday, April 23rd, is celebrated as the World Book Day. Anyhow, the World Theatre Day is on March 27. Before Shakespeare, years back in BC, the great Greek philosopher Aristotle defined play in his book The Poetics. He gives the importance of a play and the important parts of a play and gives the rules of a play in that book. Anyhow, the modern playwrights deviated from many of those rules. The Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen is considered as the father of modern plays. And what about Indian plays? The great Sanskrit playwrights Bhasa and Kalidasa are the pioneers of Indian drama, and Bhasa is considered as the father of Indian plays. Modern Indian playwrights like Girish Karnad, Vijay Tendulkar and Badal Sarkar made plays more popular in our country. Hope you got a little bit of information about plays. A lot more to say, but I know you all are waiting to watch the second part of the play, The Hour of Truth. In the first part, we watched Robert Baldwin decides to give evidence against his friend Gresham. His family also supports him in his decision. They think that Mr. Gresham was not doing fair to Robert Baldwin. Then Robert Baldwin reveals the truth that Gresham offered him $100,000 to give evidence in his favor. Now, let's see what's going to happen. The Hour of Truth by Percival Wilde.
He's desperate. He doesn't know what he's doing, or he wouldn't have offered me money.
Offered you money, Dad?
Yes, $100,000.
What?
I have got only a few years to live, but I will live those as I have lived the rest of my life. I will go to my grave clean.
Robert,
He put it aside for me without anybody knowing it. It's out of his private fortune, he says. It's not the depositor's money, as if that made any difference.
He offered you $100,000?
I could have had it for the one word yes, or even for nodding my head, or a look of the eyes.
How do you know he meant it?
His word is good.
Even now?
He never lied to me, John. I suppose my eyes must have shown something I didn't feel. He noticed it. He unlocked that drawer and showed me the 100,000.
In cash?
In $1,000 bills. They were genuine. I examined them.
And for that he wants you to say, I don't remember?
Just that. 3 words only.
But you won't?
Those 3 words would shock me if I tried to speak them. For some other man perhaps it would be easy. But for me, all of my past would rise up and strike me in the face. It would mean to the world that for years I had been living a lie. That I was not the honorable man I thought I was. When John Gresham offered me money, I was angry. But when I rejected it and he showed no surprise, then I was pleased. It was a compliment. Don't you think so?
A compliment which cost you $100,000.
Will the depositors lose much, Robert?
The depositors will not lose a cent.
But the papers.
They had to print something, they gust. I know, I tell you.
But you never said so before.
I left that for Gresham. It will come out tomorrow.
Why tomorrow? Why did you say so before? The papers ask you often enough.
Nothing forced me to answer, John.
They are going to punish Gresham, aren't they?
I am afraid so.
What for?
Misappropriating the funds of the...
Oh, I know that. But what crimes has he committed?
That's a crime, John.
But if nobody loses anything by it?
It's a crime nevertheless.
And they are going to punish him for it?
They can let him go, John. He's too conspicuous.
Do you think that's right, Governor?
My opinion doesn't matter, John.
But what do you think?
I think that I'm sorry for John Gresham. Terribly sorry.
It's nothing but a technicality there. Nobody loses a cent. It's rather hard on Gresham, I say.
Yes, John.
Would it be such an awful thing, Father, if you let him off?
I wish I could, Evie, but I am not the judge.
No, but
But what?
you're the only witness against him.
Evie,
She's right, Governor.
you too, John?
It's going to be a nasty mess if they put John Gresham in jail with your own son named after him. It's going to be a blessing for me, John Gresham Alvin.
Robert, I'm not sure I understood what you said before. What did Mr. Gresham want you to do for him?
Get him off tomorrow.
You could do that?
Yes.
How?
By answering, I don't remember when they asked me dangerous questions.
Oh, and you do remember?
Yes, nearly everything.
No matter what they ask you,
I can always refresh my memory. You see, I have notes.
but without those notes, you wouldn't remember?
What do you mean, John?
As a matter of fact, you will have to rely on your notes nearly altogether, won't you?
Everybody else does the same thing.
Then it won't be far from the truth if you say, I don't remember.
I don't see that Mr. Gresham is asking so much of you.
Martha?
Robert, I'm as honorable as you are.
That goes without saying, Martha.
It doesn't seem right to me to send an old friend to jail. Now, don't interrupt me. I have been thinking. The day John was baptized, when Mr. Gresham stood sponsor for him, how proud we were. And when we came home from the church, you said, do you remember what you said, Robert?
No. What was it?
You said, Martha, may our son always live up to the name which we have given him. Do you remember that?
Yes, dimly.
Ha! Only dimly, Governor.
What do you mean, John?
It would be sad, very sad, if the name of John Gresham, our son's name, should come to grief through you, Robert.
Martha, are you telling me to accept the bribe money that John Gresham offered me?
Why do you call it bribe money, Father?
Why indeed? Gresham had a pretty name for it. He said that he had underpaid me all these years. You know, I was getting only $60 a week when the crash came.
Yes.
He said 100,000 represented the difference between what he had paid me and what I had actually been worth to him.
That's no less than true, Robert. You have worked for him very faithfully.
He said that if he had paid me what he should have, I would have put by more than 100,000 by now.
That's so, isn't it that?
Who knows? I never asked him to raise my salary. When he raised it, It was of his own accord. Well, what do you think of it, Evie?
If you go on the stand tomorrow
Yes,
and they put John Gresham in jail, what will people say?
they will say I have done my duty.
When they find out that they haven't lost any money, when John Gresham tells them that he will pay back every cent, then they won't want him to go to jail. They'll feel sorry for him.
Yes, I believe that. I hope so.
And they won't feel too kindly disposed towards the man who helps put him in jail.
They'll say you went back on an old friend, Robert.
When you pull out your notes in court to be sure of sending him to jail,
And Mr. Gresham hasn't done anything really wrong.
it's a technicality. That's what it is. Nobody loses a cent. Nobody wants to see him punished.
Except you, Father.
Yes. And you're willing to jail the man after whom you named your son?
I believe in being merciful, Robert.
Merciful?
Mr. Gresham has always been very good to you. Well, what are you going to do now, Robert?
What do you mean?
You have been out of work since the bank closed.
Oh, I will find a position.
If Gresham doesn't go to jail, he will start in business again, won't he? And he can't offer you anything less than a partnership.
A partnership?
With the 100,000 capital you could put in the business, Dad.
John!
Of course, the capital doesn't matter. He will owe you quite a debt of gratitude besides.
100,000 would mean a great deal to us, Robert. If you don't find a position soon, John will have to support us.
On $30 a week, Dad? That won't go very far.
It's not fair to John.
Oh, don't bother about me. Look here, Governor. You have said nothing to the papers. If you say nothing more tomorrow, what does it amount to but sticking to your friend? It's a square thing to do. He would do as much for you.
You want me to take this money? Say yes, one of you. Or no. I couldn't go into partnership with Gresham.
Why not?
People wouldn't trust him.
Then you could go into business with someone else, Dad. 100,000 is a lot of money.
God knows. I never thought this day would come. I know, no matter how you try to excuse it. I know that if I take this money, I do a dishonorable thing. And you know it. You and you and you, all of you. Come, admit it.
Nobody will ever hear of it.
But amongst ourselves, John, whatever we are to the world, let us be honest with each other. The four of us, well, shams, liars, hypocrites, thieves, and I know better than any of you. We have seen our souls naked, and they stink to Almighty heaven. Well, why don't you answer me?
It's not wrong, Robert.
It's not right.
100,000 is a lot of money, Dad.
You can look into my eyes now, my son. Can't you?
Dad, why did you refuse? Wasn't it because you were afraid of what we would say?
Yes, John.
Well, nobody will ever know it.
Except the four of us.
Yes, Father. Someone's coming.
Who is it?
I can't see. It looks like Marshall.
Marshall?
A gentleman to see you, sir.
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
This Marshall.
The president of the Third National?
Yes. What does he want here?
Shall I show him in, sir?
Yes, miss. By all means.
Robert, be careful of what you say. You have to go on the stand tomorrow.
Yes. I look up.
Where was spending the afternoon indoors? How are you, Mrs. Baldwin? And you, Baldwin?
We were just going out. Come, Amy.
Oh, you needn't go on my account. You can hear what I have to say. Baldwin, if you feel like coming around to the third national sometime this week, you will find a position waiting for you.
Do you mean that, Mr. Marshall?
I wouldn't say it if I didn't. I was in to see Gresham this afternoon. He told me about the offer he had made you, but he knew that no amount of money would make you do something you thought wrong. Baldwin, he paid you the supreme compliment. Rather than go to trial with you to testify against him, he confessed.
Confessed?
Told the whole story. I can only say to you what every man will be saying tomorrow. How highly I honor and respect your husband. How sincerely.
Please, can't you see he's crying? Dear children, hope you all enjoyed the play. At the end, Baldwin got a better position. His honesty wins at the end. We get a message that the ultimate victory will go with the honest. We must be sincere and honest in our lives. Satyameva Jayate. That's the truth of the hour. Thank you.